joining us live in the studio to speak on the expectations of the meeting is the Kaduna-based security expert, Dr. Awwal Abdullahi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
As a participant at the meeting, what can you make out of this renewed commitment in addressing insecurity in the country?
Well, first and foremost, I will want to commend the National Security Advisor for convening that very meeting. It's a wonderful initiative. Here in this year's studio, we have advised, I have been, when on the appointment of the new service chiefs, I have suggested that the service chiefs should open their doors and allow for inflow and outflow of information. First and secondly, they shouldn't just be in their office, they should come out and meet with the people, meet with the stakeholders that knows or are concerned or are worried by the security situations we're having in this country. They will get a direct contribution of what is really going on, and that will assist in carving out some of the security challenges. So the initiative by the National Security Advisor, it's a wonderful one. If sustained and if carried out the way it's supposed to be carried out, I can tell you that it can assist almost 98% to solving the security challenges, because this is a situation where you are coming out to meet with the people, ask them of their opinion. They know the problem. They are the ones that are facing the problem directly. You are asking them of what they think is the way out, because they are involved directly and they know the loopholes and where it's coming from. You could be so surprised. A little advice that you might take not to be serious could be the simple way out to this security problem. So I think the effort is a good one. The initiative is wonderful. And then I also commend the National Security Advisor also for having seen the way the thing was organized. He felt it is not the way it should be. The stakeholders that are supposed to be part of that meeting as at yesterday are not part of it. So he felt that it should be rearranged again properly and reorganized properly, so that everybody that needed to be part of that meeting should be part of that meeting before a roundtable discussion can take place. It is not an issue of they as the security chiefs or the governors coming to tell the people. No, they as security chiefs and governors have been receiving daily security reports on what is going on. But they want to hear now from the people what they think about the security challenge and how they think is the best way to go about it in solving the problem. So it's a good way. It's a win-win situation anyway.
So what difference can you spell out from the latest approaches and the previous ones?
Yes, the differences between the latest approach and the past ones is that the past ones has been between the security chiefs and the chief executive officers of the state in most cases, and then in a very few cases we involve the traditional institution, and the traditional institutes are the highest echelon. These are people, I repeat, that get daily security reports. But don't forget, from the last man that is directly involved in a security situation to the chief executive officer that will get the report that the last man at the ladder is getting there, as the process of growing that report to the level of the desk of the chief executive officer or the chief security at that very arrangement, this report must have been filtered and properly arranged for him to only get a briefing. There's differences between you going down to get it raw, to get the information raw as it is without being filtered. These are the two differences in the past approach and this very present approach. Now they are coming out, not waiting for them to get the report on their desk, a filtered report on their desk. They are coming out to meet with the people directly to get the raw report, so they themselves can filter it to the best of how it should be handled. These are the two different approaches. Here, in one sentence, I mean, the other ones meet only with those that are called the head, the security chiefs, the chief executive officers of the state, that is the governors, the security chiefs, and the leaders of the traditional institution, that is possibly the emirs and the chiefs. But this time around, it is not about the emirs and the chiefs and the chief executive officers of the state or the chief securities at the national level. It is about the man at the lowest of the ladder who is directly involved in the security challenge that is coming to say his view and what they think is the way out of this security challenges.
All right, Doctor, the meeting is expected to encourage geopolitical synchronization among states. How do you think this can be achieved?
Yes, it can be achieved because it is going to create harmony. It is also going to this meeting will discuss so many things. It's not only going to discuss issue of security as it affects the state or a zone alone. It is also going to, encompass and also scrutinize as well as interwoven between regional. They are going around the 6 geopolitical zones to discuss issues of securities, mostly security challenges, and it will also come in with intertribal and religious issues. That is why you have the traditional institutions being part of it. You have the religious leaders being part of it. Where you have religious leaders, naturally they will discuss the religious implication of it. Traditional institutions will discuss the cultural implication of it, while the civil society will discuss that aspect. Women and youth leaders will discuss their own aspect. So at the end of the day, you find out that you are discussing Nigeria, not only the security of Nigeria, but peaceful coexistence of Nigeria and Nigerians all together. I think I go in line with what the chairman of Northwest Governors Forum, Right Honorable Bello Masari said. I will cite an example with him or his own state. You know very well that Kaduna is one of the poorest states in terms of security in Northwest, and then we all know the challenges he has been going through, and then also the effort that he has been making in terms of trying to ensure that they secure the state. Same goes to all the southern northwestern states. We have various security challenges and then tackling them in various ways. But like for Kaduna State, the governor just enacted a law, the State Assembly enacted a law that was signed by the governor about, let's say 2 weeks ago, that give back power, a certain level of power to traditional institutions. He does that because he believed that everybody needed to be involved when it comes to the issue of security. And before now, you know very well that the traditional institutions were strongly involved in the security arrangement of Nigeria, not until 1978-79 when there was this Jesuiti reform under the then government of General Olusegun Obasanjo. That was when the traditional institution lost their powers administratively in terms of governance, and they also become redundant. So Aminu Masali just redo that in and gave back that certain level of powers that the traditional institutions now had some level of power to control, most especially community security. They are now in charge of a certain level of revenue collection and things like that. That law gives them certain level of power, and I think that is going to help greatly in involving and revolving along the security challenges. You heard what he said, that everybody needed to be involved in security arrangement, from community to community, from individual to individual. I think that was what he tried to capture in that law that gave back certain level of power to traditional institutions that, like I said, that was signed about 2 weeks ago in Kaduna. So if all the Northwest governors will adopt the same method of that certain level of powers given back to the traditional institution, you will know, you and I know that when we were small, if anybody is coming into a community, first and foremost, he will have to be taken to the ward head. You have to introduce him to the ward head. He's coming from so-so. This is my relationship with him. This is his own profession. This is for the period of time he's going to stay. And if anything happens within that period, you will be called to come and explain why is it that when you are having a visitor around, that is why we're having this or that kind of security or community problem. These are things that are very, very vital. I hope the other governors will adopt that policy and also involve everybody that needed to be involved in the issue of security. That is the only way out in solving the present security challenges, has been adopted in a new strategy of the service chiefs under the National Security Advisor.
All right, the meeting concluded that it will be reconvened. What are your expectations in the approach? My
expectations in the approach of this new meeting is first and foremost that the stakeholders that matters should be involved do not underestimate or underrate anybody that you think has something or in one way or the other to contribute towards security. So it is not about big names. It is about people that matters be involved. It is about people that knows what the challenges is. It is about people that are living within the community that these challenges are taking place. You call them, invite them, ask them to make either a written submission or an oral submission. So, and as they are doing that, you take that back, look at it critically, and then come up with a strategy. That is number one. Number two, I'm expecting also, like I said, the service chiefs and the National Security Advisor to be more open and more interactive in this issue. It shouldn't just be a zonal thing where the 6th geopolitical zone, all after the first tour you just relax. No, there should be a continuous interaction. Maybe they come to the state or they invite people down to where they are, but there should be a continuous interaction with different stakeholders at different times, getting different views and making use of those views. Nigeria's problem is for Nigeria, and Nigerians can solve their problems if you involve them.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Awwal, for sharing your thoughts with us.
No problem.
And that was us, Kaduna-based security expert, Dr. Awwal Abdullahi, sharing his thoughts with us on the program. News Day continues after this break.